Okay, everyone, hold on to your hats and get situated in your chairs. This might be the most important video you ever watch in your life. It's the Green New Deal official membership. And there's a book cover right there to the book that started it all, The Green New Deal, The Rise of Democratic Socialism. Now, right here is a pretty good summary of the problem that we're facing. This chart represents the increasing CO2, carbon dioxide. In the readings that we've had, this is done by NASA, by the way, so it's extremely accurate and scientific information and scripts oceanography. And this around 1960 is when they started this chart. And this is the up and down of the CO2 in the atmosphere that they're measuring. And this is 2015. So it ends right around where we are at this time of 2019, where it's up to 413.76 ppm, stands for parts per million. Now, it's important for you to know that when the parts per million of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere reaches about 1,000 parts per million, all life will be exterminated on this planet. If you've ever been in a room that's really tight, and if you've ever been close to asphyxiation, you know that after breathing a bunch of carbon dioxide from your people in the room, you start to feel very, very uncomfortable. If the carbon dioxide levels continue to 1,000 parts per million, it gets in your blood and it kills you. Okay? I mean, it's always in your blood, but at that level, the blood levels of CO2 will kill you. You suffocate. You literally starve your body of oxygen. And that's what's going on in our planet right now. This is the track of it. Now, if you go all the way back to the beginning of the industrial age, I'll bet you that this 310 would be down to maybe 50 or 25 parts per million, because the trees and the ocean were taking care of it nicely. But since mankind has gone industrial and put up all the power plants and put out all the cars, billions of cars on the road, the CO2 is going up every day. All right, so that's the problem. You have to know the science of the problem before you can be part of the solution. And again, it's because we have millions of cities with millions of cars. This is Los Angeles. It's only one. Your city probably looks the same every day of the week for many, many square miles. And we've got millions of cities doing this. And sadly, in China and India, they're pumping out hundreds of thousands of new cars every day, every single day. New cars are on the road by these developing countries that want to be like us. If they continue, we're dead. Now, what can you do? We have to stand up and be united. We have to be like eagles watching every single thing that we do, and we have to reduce our carbon footprint little by little. And that's what our book and our cause is all about, helping each and every one of us cut down on our carbon footprint. And even, I'm going to go back to that slide. That's a copy of my book. Okay. And in the book, we teach you things that you can do to reduce your carbon footprint and even be carbon positive, which means pumping out more oxygen than you are carbon and helping to save the planet. So you want to get a hold of this book. And the rise of democratic socialism, by the way, is something that the candidates are using, but none of them, not one of them, not even Bernie Sanders, is a true democratic socialist. We teach you what that really means, and it has to do with this word right here, democracy. We don't have one of those. So none of those people in our government, at least not in the American government, are democratic socialists, because we do not have democracy. When we get it, then we can get more socialism. All right, and the book teaches you all about that and how we're going to get it. And that's how we're going to save the planet. Now, it all has to do with our Constitution. We teach you about how to change the Constitution for the good of all the people. We want to do that to save creatures like this. We have to save all the beautiful living things on this planet, or else we are doomed, because we depend on all of them. Believe it or not, we depend on all the plankton in the ocean to provide our oxygen that we breathe, and we depend on all the trees in the world to create the oxygen, scrub out the carbon dioxide, and give us oxygen that we breathe. And all the other creatures of the earth, like these wonderful creatures here, the dolphins, are in the same boat. They all need oxygen. They all give off carbon dioxide, and the planet has to absorb that better and do a better job. We're defeating all of that by uh, by doing some of the wasteful things that we do. So you want to do it for these creatures, these beautiful creatures of billions of years of evolution that have been around longer than us, some of them. And they help us stay alive because they're part of the ecology. And they give back. And they don't take. They only take what they need. Little beautiful creatures like that. Now, when they grow up, you don't want to face one of these because they'll eat you. But don't they have the right to survive in some parts of our world? We're destroying all of their habitat. We're destroying the habitat of every creature on the planet, even our own species. We're destroying our own habitat. Is that crazy or what? I mean, do it for them. Join us so that these beautiful, wonderful creatures of evolution can still have a home here on the earth. I'm showing you just a few. You have your favorites, and I have mine. But the world, the planet Earth, is the only place where life forms like this exist. We have to make sure that they continue to exist. We're losing thousands and thousands of species like this every day. And it's just so sad. They're the most beautiful, sweetest things in the world. Now, this guy, if he catches you, he will eat you too. So it's kind of a tricky balance to leave some portion of the world open for creatures like this, but you just want to, steer clear and let them have their life and let them enjoy their lives just like we do ours, and respect the ability of that creature to stay alive. This is one of my favorites. The zebras are so beautiful. No one knows how evolution gave them all those stripes. They don't know exactly how they got them, but it's just one of the most beautiful things in nature, especially when you see herds of them running around with all those stripes. I love zebras. So if you don't want to do it for those types of creatures, do it for this type of creature, your children and their children beyond them, because they deserve a better world than what we're leaving them. I hope you will agree. And so we have to do something. We've got to band together. We've got to stick together. And we've got to start a huge movement. I need you to hit the subscribe button and then to subscribe to this channel. Eventually, you're going to get member points for doing things like this, okay? So get started and get in early. Start getting your member points, membership points. We'll tell you all about that later. And then hit this bell button right next to the subscribe button. After you do that, YouTube comes up with a bell button. And what that means is you'll get notified when we make another video. And that's how you're going to learn more and more about the things that you can do and where you can pick up products and other things that reduce your carbon footprint. We have hundreds of them and more of them coming along every day. It all has to do with just changing a slight, tiniest part of your lifestyle and not even feeling it, but cutting back on the carbon that you produce and that your family produces, that your house produces out of default, because they were all built in times when we didn't know the situation was this dire. By the way, the government knew that it was going to come to this way back, as far back as John Kennedy, 50, 60 years ago. They knew. 70. And that's the 50s, about 70 years ago, the government started getting scientific papers about how our industrial society could poison the planet in the following century, the one we're in now. And they ignored it because they all take money from the fossil fuel companies and they didn't want to rattle their cage, or they don't get paid as much. So that's the problem. That's why we don't have any real democracy. In our book, we're going to teach you how to get it. So how to get real democracy, how to save ourselves, how to save your own family, produce less carbon dioxide into the air, and save money and save your health all at the same time. That's what we're all about. So go to this link right here, right now. After you hit the subscribe button and then the bell button, then come down here to this link, Green New Deal Audible, and that'll get you to the Audible book, which can be free, by the way, when you start an Audible account. It's a free 30-day trial account with Audible. well worth the effort, because you'll get our book for free, and you'll get hundreds of other Audible books that you can read during that 30-day free trial. The ones you get under the free trial, you get to keep, even if you cancel your monthly subscription. But you'll love it once you see how much fun it is to get your information out of an Audible book instead of having to sit down and read somewhere. You can listen to them in your car, while you're playing around, while you're at the gym, et cetera, while you're doing your errands or your homework. And so we really love the Audible part of our book uh, 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 publishing. And so that's why we're encouraging you here to go to bit.ly/Green New Deal Audible. That'll get you your free 30-day account, get the book for free under that free 30-day trial, and listen, and then come back. Then come back here. If you didn't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button and the bell button, and you'll get notified of all of the new things that we're doing. As a volunteer free member, you're going to get the biggest benefits than anyone, and you'll start the world down the path to being carbon free. And we have to do this because we only have 10, 20 years, maybe 30 at the most, before we all start to suffocate and die. I doubt you want that. So get started today. Join us. Thanks for listening.